we do have it there. And go on. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. This meeting is called to order. Everyone, please rise for the flag salute.
Didn't have anything to say.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Bruno?
Here.
Councilmember Dill?
Here.
Councilmember Adams? Councilmember McCary?
Here.
Councilmember McGuigan?
Here.
Councilmember Owen?
Here.
Council President Johnston?
Here. Also present, Mayor Glasser, Administrator Frost, City Clerk Samuelson, Deputy Clerk Heath, and City Solicitor Smith, and also our City Engineer Greg Schneider. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided. The agenda for this meeting is posted in City Hall and on the city's website, summerspointgov.org, and is on the Zoom platform. Pursuant to Code A266-8P, to afford everyone the opportunity to address the governing body, the public is may speak only one time and not to exceed 3 minutes. Okay. Madam Clerk, resolutions number 49 and 50? Or 50 and 49?
Resolution number 49 of 2022 honoring Robert F. Nicotera, volunteer member of Summers Point Office of Emergency Management, and resolution number 50 of 2022, a resolution accepting the resignation of Councilman Kenneth Adams.
May I have a motion to open to the public for public comment on these two resolutions only?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now open for public comment, but only on resolutions number 49 and 50. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, or make yourself known on Zoom. May I have a motion to close for public comment, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now closed for public comment on these two resolutions. Resolution number 50.
Resolution number 50 of 2022, a resolution accepting the resignation of Councilman Kenneth Adams.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Resolution number 50 is approved. Resolution number 49.
Resolution number 49 of 2022, honoring Robert F. Nicotera, volunteer member of Summers Point Office of Emergency Management. Whereas the city of Summers Point lost a truly dedicated volunteer and friend when Robert F. Nicotera departed from this earth on January 10th, 2022. And whereas Robert was an active member of the Summers Point's Office of Emergency Management since 2009. And whereas the Office of Emergency Management is an integral and important part of the public safety team, ensuring that the city is prepared for all types of emergencies. And whereas Bob was a valuable volunteer member of the office who always jumped in to help with various events and other activities. And whereas Bob has a history of service to others, spending 6 years enlisted in the United States Navy, as well as 43 years with the Coast Guard Auxiliary. And now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of the City Summers Point that we honor the memory of Robert Nicotera and officially mourn the passing of the man whose dedication and numerous contributions have left a positive impact upon our community and the Office of the Emergency Management. And be it further resolved that certified copies of this resolution be presented on behalf of a grateful city to his children Kristen, Robert, Stephen, and Caroline.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any comments?
Madam President?
Yes, Mr.
May I?
McGuigan.
The Office of Emergency Management is a critical and important part of this city, and the volunteers that staff that matter to us. We appreciate that work that you do for us, and I know there's a lot of hours during some of these storms and other situations. That Mr. Nictero participated in that, it mattered to us. He mattered to us, and he mattered to this city. And I'm certain that you're mourning that loss, but understand something. He mattered when he was here, and we appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution number 49 is approved. Mr. Gaffney, did you want to step up and say a couple words? You're being recorded.
Just so you know, you're on the,
I'd just like to take this opportunity as the Emergency Management Coordinator for the city to thank Madam President, Mayor Glasser, and members of City Council for honoring Bob Nicotera for his service to the city. I would really like to appreciate and thank Lucy Samuelson for drawing up the resolution that honored and dedicated service that Bob Nicotera gave to our city of Summers Point. And we have with us this evening, we have 3 of Bob's children. Kristen Bottom. Kristen. We have Bob Nicotera Jr. And we have Steve Nicotera. Here. And we also have Carolyn Spross, who is watching via Zoom, I do believe. And I think I speak on behalf of Bob's family and friends when I say we, again, appreciate and thank you for recognizing Bob Nicotera's service and the professionalism and dedication he gave to our city for the 12 years he was a member. Thank you.
Thank you. If the family would like to come up, we'll present the resolutions.
Each of the kids.
Come on up here. Janice has come down because she knows which ones to give these. First lady, what can you say? It's what they tell us that we have a volunteer that was quality that leads us so well. Besides myself, with that, but we share new losses because we have so much to lose. So with you, this will, Jan,
Everyone gets, they're all the same,
Everyone?
so everyone gets one.
you, you. We can actually give one, and this is for, I think this is for the sister. Yeah, so take that. Okay, thank you very much. And, I know we'll, thanks for being here. Where are you here?
A couple weeks ago, we had our club dinner, which Bob was going to be there. Actually, I paid for his ticket. So at that dinner, we honored him as well. So I can talk. But everybody has one needs too. And this one's for your sister. Thank you.
Yeah, you say it, take a few minutes with the family, because we're gonna get into our.
We're going to get into city business. We'll just take a 2-minute recess just for. Thank you. God bless you.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
yeah.
On a regular basis.
Well, they'll actually hang it, otherwise it ends up in a drawer somewhere. Yeah, yeah. Good? Okay. Now I'd like to call for nominations for Council Ward 1 unexpired term of 12/31 of '23. At the advice of council, we'll be accepting nominations for candidates for this vacancy of city council member in Ward 1. I would just please advise council that tonight is strictly for nominating purposes and no further discussion. We'll just be accepting nominations, and at our next meeting on the 24th is when we'll move forward with the formal vote. I do have 3 nominations: Lisa Bender, Joseph W. Keys, and Richard DePamphilis. Does anyone else from council have any nominations? Okay, hearing none. With all,
Madam President?
yes.
If I may, are you nominating all 3 of these people, or?
I believe that, and I've discussed this quite a bit with everyone, but this is just a procedure of people who put their names into the hat, so to speak. So anyone can get up and put their name into the hat. Someone can recommend someone, and at the next meeting, there would be an opportunity for the individuals whose names have been put into the hat to get up and speak, and then council can take a vote. So it's not like a technical nomination. I hereby nominate someone to be council president. It's just a submission of a name. These 3 individuals have submitted their names, expressed an interest. So technically, the way we're choosing this council vacancy, the council person who will fit into this position, is a little different because Mr. Adams was not elected, and that sort of changed everything. So my advice was that anyone who puts their name in can be considered. Anyone the general public may suggest can be considered, and I don't believe that council is bound by those names at the next meeting either.
Okay, so it's not, reiterating sort of what you said, it's not a nomination. We're just announcing that these 3 people have expressed interest in this. So,
The nomination probably was my incorrect choice.
no,
of words.
we're all friends.
Thank
you. So if someone were to gain interest over the next 2 weeks, who might see this on Zoom, or would they be able to put their name in a hat next week or next?
They can get up and speak at the next meeting if you want to.
So
This was just
No.
intended to make this open to the public
Sure.
as to who may wish to be considered.
Sure.
And let council do some due diligence over the next 2 weeks.
Sure. Good deal. Thanks.
I looked up that term, due diligence.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Could I have a motion to open to the public for limited purpose of making any nominations? Please only submit a name. No comments will be heard at this time. Could I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion, Council President.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now open for public comment if anyone wishes to make a nomination only. Seeing none, may I have a motion to close, please?
I'll make a motion to close.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We're now closed for public comment. All right, let's moving on to communications. Anyone have any communications to offer? Mayor's report. Mr. Mayor?
Good evening, Madam Council President. Let me first start off by mentioning another loss that the city received, and of course, we talked about it at the last meeting, was that of Eric Jones. I know many of us attended his funeral this weekend, and I just felt for the whole city because he was the soul of that fire department, of company number one. So my heart goes out to all the fire departments in the town, but especially company one. I just want to make mention that this weekend, the Office of Emergency Management, along with AMVETS, I mentioned this earlier, we're having the CERT training, and as I mentioned before, it allows people to get a understanding of emergency management and be able to be involved and actually join an OEM within their cities. So I understand it's filling up, and it will be starting this Saturday at 9 o'clock and lasting for 9 weeks. While I was attending the AMVETS meeting this weekend, the name Oscar Schultz came up, and Oscar Schultz was a World War I veteran who lived here in town. He didn't grow up here, but he lived here in town, and he won the Medal of Honor for saving people. What I understand is there was a move to make him a memorial at the American Legion in honor of Oscar Schultz, and I just want to make that known. That they are working for that. I think they're going to start collecting money for that, you know, I would hopefully somewhere down the line maybe name a street for him in town. So I think he lived down. The resident historian isn't here, Kurt. So, but I believe he lived down on Higbee Avenue. But Tommy Innocente tells a lot of good stories about him. The other thing I want to talk about is, and I'm glad Greg's here, is a while ago, a bunch of us got complaints about the decorative lights on the Route 52 bridge. And I know it's through the efforts of Jason Frost, our city administrator, and of course, our top city engineer over there, Greg Snyder, on working to get those lights fixed. They've been out for too long. You know, it seems like our side is not out, or is out, and the other side is lit. But nonetheless, I appreciate their time and effort for coordinating with the state and moving that along. And last but not least, I just want to make mention that on the legislative district alignments, I have understand this week that it appears that we will be staying in Legislative District 2 based on the maps that just came out. There were 2 maps that came out, and both of them had us staying in LD2, but more to come. But as everyone, there's a lot of people in town feel that we should stay right with LD2 because of association, of course, with Atlantic City and the county. So based on that, thank you very much for allowing me this time to speak this evening.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Smith?
I have nothing, thank you.
Mr. Frost, I didn't mean to skip you.
I have nothing to report this evening.
Mr. Snyder?
Thank you, Council President. I just have a few things to go over. First was last Wednesday, the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection came down to do their 5-year stormwater inspection. That was done with myself, City Administrator Frost, and Jim Doherty, who's the stormwater coordinator for Public Works. We're waiting for the full report, but preliminarily, everything was found to be in compliance as far as the stormwater regulations. And I want to thank Public Works for their hard work complying with all the regulations. There's a lot of paperwork that they have to do every year to show that we're in compliance. The next issue is I received notification that South Jersey Gas will be starting their major main replacement work Monday in the second ward. I spoke about that last time, and with the council's permission, and I'd like to put some information on the city's website about which streets will be affected and what will be done. I think that'd be good for the public. And last but not least, Atlantic Avenue Phase 1 was awarded at the last meeting. New Jersey DOT concurred with the resolution to award the contract, so we're moving forward with a pre-construction meeting in 2 weeks, approximately 2 weeks. The meeting will be Friday, February 28th. And that's it.
Thank you.
Mr. Snyder, I have a question.
Yes.
I know we're going to put this information on the website, but does the gas company have any obligation to notify the residents prior to them going out and starting to dig up the streets?
Not for digging up the streets. If they're going to shut off their gas, they have to notify them.
They're going, I'm sorry?
If they have to shut off their gas.
Well, if they're replacing a main line, I would assume that they're going to.
Well, usually they put the main line in first, and then they'll do all the services individually.
Then reconnect.
Yeah, it's then reconnect. They do the main
Okay.
line first, then all the
Okay.
streets. and
But
then
they have no obligation to notify the residents of that kind of work
No, I
being
met
done
with
on the
South Jersey
street.
Gas and made sure that I definitely let them know that they have to let the police department know if they're shutting down any roads, obviously
Right.
for emergency access.
Okay.
But there is no requirement that they
Uh,
notify the residents for.
Okay, because I know they were marking, I know one of my street is one of those streets going to be
Yeah.
inconvenienced. And I know a couple neighbors came to me and asked, what are all the markings in the street? And they weren't, one the gas company just here. And I explained to them what was going on and in detail some other things that are going to be going on in that street. But I just think if a utility is going to do that type of major work, that they should have an obligation to notify the residents in advance. But if that's not the case, so be it.
It's just very difficult to do that. I mean, besides doing something on the website.
Right.
The schedule does change.
It'll change due to weather and things
Yeah,
of that
so
nature.
Right.
Okay.
It's fairly difficult to do.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mr. Allen?
In regards to that, about 2 years ago, they did our street, and Utility Corporation, their subcontractor of South Jersey Gas, they had notified our street via, put it on our doors, like little door knockers, like, by the way, next week, we're going to be doing some work, along your street and redoing the lines. So there was
Maybe at a
input.
minimum, they will.
Right.
They just don't know the exact dates,
Mm-hmm.
general, just how construction goes.
Okay.
Okay. But we will post it on the website, whatever information we have, so.
Madam
Yes.
President? Greg, utility companies have to have some sort of schedule that they put together over, a 6-month period of time of where they want to go. Is it possible that those types of schedules could be provided to us so we have a general idea so the public can know about things in advance, or at least know what's going to be happening in the city?
Yeah, we can request a general schedule, like, will be at these streets anticipated at these
Right.
dates. Obviously, that's always subject to change, but.
Right.
Once, I believe, Monday, the first day, they're going around and seeing the subcontractor for the gas company's going to decide how they're going to attack the job. And, they'll be providing my office with a more detailed schedule.
Okay, I mean, I understand things change, but, they can't just all of a sudden go to work one day and say, hey, let's go over to Summers
Oh, yeah,
Point
they
and,
can't just-
and dig up the street. There has to be a plan in place, and the utility company should be sharing that with us so that we can let the citizens know, so that they're not inconvenienced, and they can plan for taking kids to school and other things like that when they block the streets off.
Yeah, we
That's
can
all.
have a general schedule.
Okay, and that should be posted up on our website?
Yeah.
All right. as just a matter of business, right? Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have a committee report to offer? Mr. Owen?
Committee report for the Recreation Board. We had met first Thursday of the month, about a week or so ago. We had some approvals. South Jersey Shore Baseball League is back this year, which is a good thing. Summers Point Babe Ruth, as well as Babe Ruth Men's Over 35 League will be back, utilizing our fields. The Marine Science Camp will be back on Morrow Beach, I think, towards the tail end of the summer. And mark your calendars, Art in the Park was approved for June 26th, which is not too far off. And our next meeting is March 3rd.
Thank you. Any other committee reports to offer?
Madam President, I attended the Green Thumb Garden Club. They're back to meeting at the senior center after COVID. Like they've been through a whole lot, as everyone has. And the speaker is Gregory, who is the chair of the Great Egg Harbor River Council, who told many entertaining stories. And Lynn Maughan, who's the Education Outreach Director. And she is, prior to COVID, she was doing 3,000 students a year and has been in all the schools in Summers Point. And she was very interesting and talked about how we can do away with our lawns and have all natural and all, and it sounded very good. And they're also, in their committee meeting, they do the Four Corners, but down by the mansion, they maintain that through the summer, and the city garden that anyone can use. And so they're trying to come up with signs for the pots that they do, because it looks like it's all done by Shore Memorial, and they just, are trying to get more attention for the club. And they're hoping to get back into everything that they were able to do before COVID, including their garden tour that they have each year. And then I attended the Summers Point Historic Society, and I was writing all these notes, and they told me they'd send me all the information. I didn't get it. So from what I remember, Eddie and the Cruisers is 40 years old. It was made 40 years ago this year. So we're going to be having the Eddie and the Cruisers movie and an Eddie and the Cruisers concert. The Grace Kelly movie will be back again this year, and the flea market at Gregory's, because those were both first time last year and were very successful, and they're planning to bring that back. And I don't have the dates because I didn't get the information. But
Great, good stuff. Thank you. Any other committee reports? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the January 27th, 2022 meeting, please?
So moved.
Second?
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Minutes are approved. Moving on to ordinances. Ordinance number 3.
Ordinance number 3, an ordinance amending Chapter 120, Article 1, Section 120-5A3 of the Municipal Code, reducing the late fee amount on dog licenses to $10.
This is the second reading, so could I have a motion to open for public comment, please?
I'll make that motion to open to public comment.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? We're now open for public comment on ordinance number 3. If you wish to speak, please come forward, state your name and address.
Steve Bassett, 7 Osborne Road. I've been here 40 years. I think this pet thing is a little bit ridiculous. I get my pet rabies shots for 3 years. Every year I had to be annoyed with paying this fee every year, and it's a pain in the neck. If I get a cat rabies shot for 3 years, I should just pay once every 3 years. And I'm sure they can do it with today's computers. That's all.
Thank you. Okay, we don't.
Motion to close. the
Motion to
public
close,
portion?
please.
Motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? We're now closed for public comment. Could I have a motion for ordinance number 3, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance number 3 is adopted. Ordinance number 4.
Ordinance number 4, an ordinance amending Chapter 250, Article 5, Section 250-560, Municipal Code, modifying the effective period of parking permits.
This is a second reading. Could I have a motion to open for public comment, please?
I'll make that motion to open the public comment.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now open for public comment on ordinance number 4. Okay. May I have a motion to close, please?
Make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now closed for public comment. Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 4, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance number 4 is adopted. Ordinance number 5.
Ordinance number 5 of 2022, an ordinance amending ordinance number 1 of 2021, an ordinance of the City of Summers Point, County of Atlantic, New Jersey, establishing the rates, fees, rents, and other charges of the City of Summers Point sewer utility.
This is a second reading. May I have a motion to open for public comment?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now open for public comment for ordinance number 5. May I have a motion to close, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now closed for public comment. Could I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 5, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ordinance number 5 is adopted. Resolutions, Madam Clerk?
Resolution number 51 of 2022 is extending the time period for temporary and limited expansion of the operations of bar restaurants to their outside areas and municipal right-of-ways. Resolution number 52 of 2022 is full-time hiring of Ashley Mathers. Resolution number 53 of 2022, a resolution authorizing an escrow agreement between the City of Summers Point and Josephine Kelly LLC for the purposes of investigating a potential partial vacation of Miller Lane and a street dedication across the parking lot of Josephine Kelly LLC. Resolution number 54 of 2022 is zoning board appointment.
May I have a motion to open for public comment on these resolutions only?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now open for public comment on resolutions only.
Patricia Pearson, 587 Marks Road, Summers Point. What is the resolution for Josie Kelly's? Is it to fix the street? Is this,
No.
This is a city problem, right?
It is, do you want to explain it, Mr. Smith?
Miller Lane is a city street, right?
Correct.
Yes.
And it's right in front of the front door of a restaurant. So you
Correct.
have to fix it, right?
This isn't to do anything other than to conduct an investigation into it at this
Okay.
point.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to know. Who are you going to have investigated?
So it's our solicitor and our engineer.
We're not going to look into
So that's what this resolution is.
Schneider's got to go out and do a survey. Mr. Schneider's got to go out and measure a fire truck. Mr. Schneider's got to go out and measure a trash truck. Tom Smith's got to look at some paperwork. And if we just do this on our own without an escrow agreement, I'm going to build a city, Mr. Schneider's going to build a city, and taxpayers pay for that. So for us to even look at this, we've reached an understanding with them that they'll pay us to look at it. There's no commitment on the city to do anything other than we're going to take a look at it. So they put money into the escrow agreement, and then when I submit a bill, it's paid by the people from Josie Kelly's, not Tricia Pearson.
Okay, I got that part.
Okay.
All right, but do you have
Very
the
good.
part that there's a lot of mistakes in the city of Summers Point from the old days that have to be corrected, and that not everything is,
If I were in a trial, I'd object to that broad and ambiguous statement. Because that is like the most all-encompassing thing in the world. That's what this council does probably every day, having sat up here at one point. They try to correct issues. So
Okay, so-
that's the response you get from the attorney
so
today.
I have a lot of faith in Mr. Snyder, a lot of faith.
None
And
in
the
me.
bottom line is, I didn't say I didn't have faith. I have faith in you. And also, I do have faith in the Lloyds. So I'm thinking that this is going to turn out good. I just when you read these things, the public doesn't quite understand exactly what it is, and we need a little explanation. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. May I have a motion to close, please?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And we're now closed for public comment on resolutions. Resolution number 51.
Resolution number 51 of 2022, extending the time period for temporary and limited expansion of the operations of bar restaurants to their outside areas and municipal right-of-ways.
May I have a motion, please?
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution number 51 is approved. Number 52.
Resolution number 52 of 2022, full-time hiring of Ashley Mathers.
Second.
Any comments?
Council President, I would just after reviewing Ms. Mather's resume and basically the conditions of employment in this country, I think the city is very fortunate to be able to obtain someone with her qualifications.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution number 52 is approved. Number 53.
Resolution number 53 of 2022, a resolution authorizing an escrow agreement between the City of Summers Point and Josephine Kelly LLC for purposes of investigating a potential partial vacation of Miller Lane and a street dedication across the parking lot of Josephine Kelly LLC.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution number 53 is approved. Resolution number 54.
Resolution number 54 of 2022, zoning board appointments, namely Douglas Gilbert for alternate number 2 with a term expiring December 31st, 2023.
May I have a motion, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any comments?
Council President,
Yes.
again, I reviewed this person's resume. This is a volunteer board, and we're very fortunate to have people of that quality willing to give up their free time in order to have the interests of the city looked at in a professional way.
I agree. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution number 54 is approved. Anyone have any old business to discuss? Hearing none. Any new business? Yes, Mr. McGuigan.
I should have mentioned this earlier while OEM was here. There was a member of the OEM staff, Jack Shields, that's having some health challenges, and I just want to express and wish him a speedy recovery, and know that, he's missed. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion of the bills, Mr. Frost? Just one sec.
We have a record of payments dated February 8th in the amount of $58,130.17. And we have a regular bill list for this evening in the amount of $3,018,971.39.
Thank you. May I have a motion to open for public comment?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now open for public comment. If you wish to speak, please step forward, state your name and address for the record.
I don't know when I get to say this. Steve Bassett, 7 Osborne Road. I think the city should have a key to the city that they give out, and the first one they should give out is to Carmen, who's been running this every summer, the beach concerts. He's done a great job, him and his wife. Brought a lot of great things to the city. And I think we should give him the key to the city.
Great. Thank you. Very nice.
Yes, Ed O'Donnell, and this is how everybody can feel perfect. And as I look at the violence on television, the shootings, the stabbings, the fighting, the people not getting along with each other, and my father was a doctor, went to Yale and Yale Med, and my mother was a nurse, my niece is a nurse. My charity gets health courses in high schools. I'm more and more convinced that a lot of these people who get in trouble, and Jack will find this interesting, who get in trouble, they don't feel well physically. And this creates anger, then they lash out. So, here's how you can feel perfect. Don't put anything unhealthy in the body. Meat is a problem. Steak, pork chops, lamb chops, chicken, it's hard to digest. So think about that. The vegan diet is the best. Now, as far as that beautiful Republican event we had at Linwood Country Club 2 years ago when Sean broke the record for number of cups of free coffee, he goes to confession, so he's all right.
I appreciate that.
So anyway, don't put anything in the body. Sleep is very important, very, very important.
What about protein?
That's important. Yeah, but here's the key. Rite Aid Hawaiian Tropic Brown Coconut Suntan Oil. I'm not on their payroll. Sun, cold ocean, make sure your face and hair go in the ocean. Cold pool, hot whirlpool, sauna bath, steam bath, cold pool, shower shampoo. You'll feel as good as Wes Swain did when he was a great athlete at Atlantic City High. And you don't have to do that all the time. That has a long shelf life. And last, Summers Point, please get hot whirlpool, sauna bath, steam bath somewhere, a fitness club, and then I will be here much more time. You'll get a lot more money. You'll remember Huey Long, the politician in Louisiana, he said, a chicken in every pot, so whirlpool in every house. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam President, for the record, there is a hot tub behind Tom Smith's house. Well, you know, he won't accept he won't accept payment.
Is everyone invited, Tom, to that hot tub? I'm just wondering.
I think Sean just
Full
invited
public
everybody.
access, right? Full public access, yeah.
Patricia Pearson, 587 Marks Road. Thank you, Mr. O'Donnell. I hear him on the radio, and he's run for president. He's legit. He has a foundation and the whole bit, so thank you. What I wanted to tell you is, I was talking about the trees at the hospital the last meeting, but somebody at that hospital has a brain this year, let me tell you, because they took all the trees and put red lights all over them. Now, you might think that sounds odd, but it doesn't. At nighttime, you go down Bay Avenue, and all those trees are lit red, 100% red. That's all you see is red lights. But February is Heart Month. It's also Valentine's. It's also friendly and nice and gives a great appearance to Bay Avenue. So kudos to the hospital for that one. The other thing is the theater is having a lot of plays on the 18th or 19th, and they get a lot of publicity, and that's very, very good, too. The other thing is that we had an episode in this town, and we self-annihilated ourselves in the press and on the radio and everything else, and it was sad. I'm for Ken Adams. I like that vote, but the bottom line is nobody else did, or a lot of people didn't. But the Sentinel Ledger saved us in a way because, and Firehouse number 1, if you think of these things and you think how people think in the outside world, because there is a real world out there and people are upset. The Sentinel Ledger gave this beautiful picture on the front page of the bridge with the fire trucks going over it, next to some bad news that we have. But look at this, that picture is perfect. And look at this. Look at this. This is all Summers Point Firehouse number 1. Now, does that take the edge off other things? I think it does, and I think we should be grateful to the Sentinel Ledger, and I mean that sincerely. And then one other thing, this might not go over too good, but Mr. Smith, I just want to ask you a question. Aren't you the solicitor for here?
You have to ask Ms. Johnson the question, and then
Okay.
she lets
Is
me
Mr.
speak.
Smith, is Mr. Smith the solicitor?
Yes.
Okay, now, wouldn't you think that the solicitor would try to protect the council? I mean, I would think that. And wouldn't you think if there was like a red flag that came up or something just didn't click so right? I mean, I thought it clicked good, but what did I know? But the solicitor is supposed to protect the council. So how come there were no red flags put up last week? That's what I want to know. Thank you very much.
So much for her thinking nice of me.
Do you want to?
I'm not going to comment for that.
Okay, I don't think.
I don't think it even,
We-
I'm just,
If you don't comment,
We-
you don't have to, but
I
it's
don't
not
have to
fair.
comment to
Don't
this,
comment.
and I refuse to comment.
Don't
All
comment.
right,
Give her
that's
the
okay.
time.
Be
That's all right.
That's okay.
Don't
But
comment.
people are hurt and upset.
Thank you.
Everybody is.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Madam President,
Yes, Mr.
for the
McRae.
record, Mr. Smith did not have a vote in that situation. Thank you.
For the record, what?
Mr. Smith did not have a vote in that situation.
Nobody said he had a vote. He's
Well,
supposed to give you a red flag. Is a red flag a vote?
Oh, what's the red flag supposed to be about? I'm sorry.
It's supposed to say, councilman, something might be wrong here. Think and read and.
We made our decision based on the
yes.
information we had at the time.
Yes.
And
Wasn't very good, was it? And you have a solicitor, don't you?
that's.
It's not,
I don't
it's
believe
not,
that was-
it's not the solicitor's responsibility to do background checks on individuals that are here for council. Maybe I didn't,
Okay.
okay? I don't think it's my responsibility also.
Anyone else?
Responsibility to tell
Okay.
the people something.
Fine.
Anyone else wish to speak? Please come forward.
Hi, Teresa Doherty, 26 Dogwood Drive. First, I just wanted to say thank you to the engineer, Mr. Schneider. You always give very informative reports, and I love the idea to put things on the website. I completely agree that would be helpful, and social media as well, especially if there's going to be the potential for changes and updates. As much information like that as that can go out on different ways, not just relying on newspapers, would be very helpful. So thank you for everything you do, too. I also want to just bring to your attention an issue at Dawes Avenue School. We're having issues with the traffic there. There's one intersection that is just a free-for-all, basically, at the school pickup time. It's at the intersection of West Pearson and Atlantic. There's just, I mean, it depends on the day, but some days you'll have traffic backed up to the other street with cars blocked in and not able to get out. You have people trying to join the car pickup line from 3 separate directions, both coming from West Pearson and then coming up Atlantic. And there's no one there monitoring or trying to keep some kind of order at that intersection at all. There's pedestrians trying to get past. So I didn't want to just speak for myself for this. I sit in it every day and watch it unfold, and I've seen quite a few near misses and a lot of fights sometimes, people getting out of cars yelling at each other. And I just think it's going to lead to an accident, injury, or hopefully not a death. And I don't want to see action not taken before then. I think the school's done what they can, at least from what they've said. They've tried to streamline the process. They do have a crossing guard at the other intersection, Dawes and Atlantic, who does a fantastic job. There's just no coverage on that other intersection. And I think it's impacting the safe routes to school. I think this is something, obviously I'm not an expert, I don't know who's in charge of what, but it seems to me like the school could use some help from the city, the police department, something here to address the situation. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you. I did receive your email, and we will look into it, so.
Thank you. And there was a petition that I put out
Yeah.
to make sure that other people's voices were heard that are not as comfortable coming and speaking to the school or whomever. So there were about 26 over the course of a couple days, other parents that chimed in and provided their comments and stories. So if anyone did not get that and would like that information, I can provide it to you.
Thank you. Any hands up? May I have a motion to close?
Somebody's hands up.
Oh. Hold on.
Right, that's a hand. Yeah.
There's someone on Zoom. You have your hand up?
Maybe it went down.
Mm-mm.
Oh, maybe they were clapping.
Okay.
Motion to close the public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now closed to public comment. May I have a motion to pay the bills, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we can pay the bills, Mr. Frost.
Thank you.
May I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? We're now adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone. You need a louder one?
We're still live.
That didn't get to 3 minutes.
You didn't get that?
Didn't get to 3 minutes. Very close on two
Yeah.
occasions.
Oh, yeah, we got it. Fair. And I gave it to
I'm the
Howard
official-
because
I'm the official
I
timekeeper.
knew he wanted to be the
Do I get extra pay for that? or-
keeper of the time.
There you go.